Waken wind! Fetch! Mistakes. Right here. Don't come back. The hour fast approaches. Make ready.
Ah, Clive. Just the man I was hoping.
Oh? And why is that?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all. But we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could. But where would I put 'em? There just ain't enough room up here on the rock. Which leaves us in a bit of a pickle.
I see.
And it isn't just that lot. There's bears to think about too. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, coming from all over looking for safe, but there's only so many we can shelter with the room. We can't keep cramming more and more people into less and less space. What we need is a new home for our new arrivals. And that's what I was hoping you might help me with. If it ain't too much of a burden, of course.
It's no bud.
Thank you, Clive.
So, where were you thinking of making this new home?
Well, I reckon we could do a lot worse than Eastpool.
Eastpool. It's been a long time since I thought about that place.
It was a tragedy.
Oh my god, how
And
have I never done this side
if any
quest?
of us could have done anything
What?
to stop it, we would have. But what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted the village they loved
Yeah, it
to
is
be
so
left in
fucking
ruins.
sad that it just was like
I
left
suppose
to
you're
just
right.
rot.
The
I was
blight might be
expecting
pressing
something
in,
to be there
but I
after the
reckon it's
time
got a
jump,
good
so I
few
go
years
back
left
and
in
it
it
still
yet.
fucking looks like that.
There's just one problem.
Oh, this is nice,
A band
actually.
of cutthroats have made it their den, and they don't seem like they'll be moving on in a hurry. Nasty bastards they are too. I've lost some good men to their raid. Would have sent someone to clear 'em out sooner if my boys didn't already have their hands full fending off the Akashic. But now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call on. I reckon it's time we made our move. What do you say? Fancy leading a raiding party?
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved. I won't have bandits sully those memories. I'll gladly drive them out of there.
And I know the men will gladly follow you. I've already shared a few thoughts with Sir Wade about how we might be able to win the place back. And I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too. Why don't you go and talk to him?
Of course.
Back to Eastpool, then.
Not just yet. Let's hear Wade's plan first. So Wade, it's good to see you well.
And you, Lord Rossfield. And you.
I spoke with Martha. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool and make it your own.
That's right, though it was mostly her idea. I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat since joining us, not to mention each other's. And then there are the bearers, men and women who found the courage to flee their masters and sought refuge here. We need somewhere to settle them, and I can think of worse places than Eastpool.
As can I. Which is why I agreed to help you win it back.
That's very kind of you. I'd be most grateful if you would. With you beside us, we shall soon send that rabble of rogues running for the hills.
So, what can you tell me?
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. Fewer than a dozen at our last count. And rather less, thankfully. The road that leads there will more than likely to clear the village. But if the Akashic were to follow them in, that force could end up trapped between a rock and a very hard place indeed.
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off any Akashic who come too close. Make sure I'm not taken unawares.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk yourself, my lord.
The Akashic are the bigger risk. I can handle a few bandits.
Well, if you're sure, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord. You go on ahead. We'll be with you before long.
All right. I'll meet you at Eastpool then.
We shall see you there. And may victory await us.
Inn's full. Don't bother.
Who the hell are you? Kill them!
You will leave this place. Or face the consequences. That's the end of that, then. Or maybe not. What's that thing doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes too. Any more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching. I thought you were keeping an eye out for a Kashik.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away, before any other unsavory characters move in.
Of course. I'll send orders for them to depart immediately. Leave it with me, my lord.
without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own at last.
That's all of them, and not a single Akashic in sight. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy, especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the bandits, that is. It'll take a bit of elbow grease, but we'll see Eastpool rise again. Just you wait.
So wait. Lady Hannah is buried here. If you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts. He should be a part of this.
Of course. I couldn't agree more.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more, you have only to send a Stolas.
And we will, my lord.
Damn. I
Safe
forgot their
travels.
fucking nephew joined them. That's sad.
Eastpool lives again.
Let's go and tell Martha the good news.
Oh, I didn't know about this mission. That was cool. So this place doesn't rot, actually. Okay.
So this is our new home, is it?
Did you ever find those 3 hooded characters who ran off into the dim? They never did come back this way. I'm
Well,
starting to think I shouldn't have let them through. Though I suppose it was their choice.
those 3 hooded fellows, damn. Random DLC dialogue. And
Ah, there you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. Nicely done. And what's all this about some shape-shifting nightmare showing up? On second thoughts, don't...
Suppose it will be. What will you call it?
What else? Eastpool. Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place, but that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along those lines. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool, but their work's the way I see it. If it's food or lumber or strong backs they need,
I'm so
the rest
confused
is
about
ready
the
to
fact,
provide it.
Thank you,
like,
Martha.
right outside their gates in
thank you.
Eastpool is the
You
blight
didn't have to help
that
us.
has just turned that
Why
whole
would
area
you
into the
do?
Deadlands. Yet, like, they do this 5-year time jump, or in total however many years, 7 years or something, I can't remember. In total of what it's been since the beginning, but it's been that long, and Eastpool still hasn't been covered by the blight. The blight is still exactly where it was, like, before the time jump. That is so weird. I don't get how the blight works in this game, where it only sucked out a certain amount to that point, and then it went somewhere else. Like, I don't know how fast the blight works. They don't ever explain it, really. I don't think.
Ah, Clive, I was just about to send for you. I'd like you to take something to Sir Wade up in Eastpool. Seeds for planting. Thought it was about time they started growing their own food. I'll keep providing them with whatever they need in the meantime, of course. But if Eastpool's going to survive, it's got to be able to fend for itself. As have those poor bearers. They've lived their whole lives in servitude, but now they're their own masters. Small wonder they ain't got the foggiest how to provide for themselves. So it's up to us to teach 'em. And if you're wondering why you, well, the wagoneers taking supplies up that way have been coming back with more and more reports of Akashic around the village of late. Sir Wade's putting a brave face on it, but I think even he's starting to worry. And if he's likely to share those concerns with anyone, it's you.
All right.
Thanks. There. That should be enough to keep him in Gazal Greens for a few years at least.
Gazal Greens.
Not the most mouth-watering crop, I'll admit. But they're hardy, they grow fast, and they fill a hole. Better that than something that'll wither away at first frost. And chocobos love 'em too, which is no small thing. When I say all of us need to pull together to get Eastpool back on its feet, I mean all of us. They ain't exactly
Like, is it really
succulent,
worth this?
but
How long?
cook 'em right, and they're just about bearable.
God, I'm so curious, like, how the blight works.
Anyway,
Especially
Sir
after
Wade
the
will know
game,
what to do
like,
with 'em.
clearly the
If you
entire
don't,
world is
well,
nearly
I'll
dead and
go
have
up
to
there and
live
show him
through the blight
myself.
covering
I'm
everything.
sure you will.
But, like, when does it start really going? Like, does Joshua and Jill see that in their lifetime, or is that, like, way in the distant future? Oh, I don't know. I wish we knew. How the fuck quickly does the blight work? Because it can't be that fast. Fucking 5 years and it hasn't moved an inch by Eastpool. Eastpool's still just dandy. Apparently we can grow crops and everything without worry, even though it's fucking right here. This is all the blight, is it not? So weird.
I heard the Guardian saying we're supposed to grow our own.
The victuals Martha sent us are more than enough for me.
Ah, Lord Rossfield. What brings you to Eastpool?
A delivery from Martha.
These are Gazal green seeds. Martha's keen to cut the apron strings, then, is she? I jest, of course. You see, I had thought we might be able to revive the old wheat fields, but they'd long since gone to seed, only without the seeds.
Martha was hoping he might be able to show the bearers how to plant and tend these, so that they'll be able to fend for themselves.
That's not a bad idea. These bearers had only recently escaped their bonds before we brought them here. They know little of freedom, of providing for themselves and their loved ones. Unless we teach them how to live like free men, I fear that all we have achieved in bringing them here is to exchange one master for another. Not that myself and the Guardians have been the best example to them so far, subsisting almost entirely on Martha's charity as we do. It's about time we all started to provide for ourselves, bearers and Guardians alike. Unfortunately, we've been a little too busy of late to focus on much besides bolstering our defenses. There have been alarming reports of...
The Horde is closing in. They're coming, Sir Wade, all of them.
Damn it all, I thought we'd have more time. Gather the men in the square. Send to the rest for reinforcements.
Yes, Sir Wade.
The Horde.
A Kashek, a veritable legion of them. They've been seen prowling around the northern reaches for a while. We don't have the numbers to hold back a swarm that size.
Now you're out of time.
Precisely. If reinforcements from the rest arrive before they do, we may just scrape through, but I fear that's rather an...
What if you could call on reinforcements?
You mean the bearers? We brought them here so they might live, not die fighting for their lives.
So wait. You said you lack men to defend the village. Are the bearers not men? Do they not wish to see Eastpool saved? Though they may not be trained soldiers like your Guardians. What help they are able to offer could still prove the difference between victory and defeat.
You're right, my lord. I will appeal to them. My friends, I humbly beg your aid. We Guardians are few and our enemies many. But I swear we can defeat them with you at our side.
You would send us to the slaughter, to serve as bait for those fiends so that you and your men might be spared. And to think we trusted you.
These idiots. You gotta make it
Say what you will.
clear that it's their choice. Whoever amongst them wants to help, not all of them.
But it is worth fighting for.
Martha? Oh, shit. Okay.
Sir Wade fights to give you lot a chance. Just like I do. Just like Sid
Hey, a
does.
Final Fantasy song? Okay.
We all wanted to give you a home where you could be free. And you got one, didn't you? This place, Eastpool. This is your village. Your home.
It's your choice. You're gonna leave your fucking home to burn? What are you doing?
Don't fight to protect what's yours. You'll lose it. You know I'm right. This world wants to take it.
I guess that's a way to convince them. But really, just from the beginning, you should have made it clear that it's their choice. But, you know, you're not gonna help. You're
freedom, your very lives.
just like, fuck. I don't know.
So then, are you going to stand by and let that happen to you?
It really brought Mama Martha to scold them into helping.
And die, having never stood up for yourselves?
Wow.
Or will you fight like free men and women?
Martha, you better be fighting too at this fucking point. You can't be yelling like this like you're... Oh. See, you're not motivational at all. Where's Clive? Make Clive do it. He would know.
What do you do?
All right.
It's a choice. All they want is the idea of the choice, right? Or their homes, I guess. That's it.
I don't want to lose it. I will protect what's mine, or die trying.
Damn, you really just persuaded this one.
We all will. Free men and women, fighting together.
Okay. Yeah, the way, I guess.
For Eastpool! For Eastpool!
Yeah. Okay, sure.
Thank you, Martha.
Don't mention it. Just promise me one thing. That you'll show them how freeborn fight.
Gladly.
Well, if it was numbers you were lacking, you certainly won't be now.
Thanks to you.
Me? Oh, I just love the sound of my own voice.
Lord
Wow,
Rothfield,
she's honest.
my
I
lady,
can see that.
we're ready.
So what's the plan of action?
We'll divide our forces into several small detachments, each made up of guardians, bearers, and guards from the rest. These will position themselves at strategic points around the village. Upon engaging with the Akashic, each detachment will keep the creatures occupied as best they can, steadily retreating all the while.
You're going to lure them into the village?
I am. We will have neither the time nor the resources to treat the wounded, so injuries must be avoided at all costs. By coordinating our withdrawal through the use of messengers drawn from among the bearers, we will aim to have the swarm converge at a point of our choosing. With luck, that point will be the village square. The perfect place for our most able warriors to surround them and fall upon them, and for you and I to finish
A sound plan. But one that'll require a leader with a cool head and strong nerve. I'd say you have both in abundance, Sir Wade. But you'll be needed. Please, leave the last of the fighting to me.
Ha! And let you have all the glory.
Sir Wade! They're here!
Then you know what you must do. We work together, everyone playing their part, each shielding the other that no man might fall, that Eastpool might live on. For Rosaria.
For Rosaria!
We've no time to argue, my lord. I'll do as you ask.
And I will do as you ask.
Suppose we'd better do our bit too then, eh?
Right you are, Martha.
The calm before the storm. And here it comes.
We cannot fail Eastpool again.
We won't. Get up. Looks like that's the last of them.
Lord Rossfield! Change of plan!
What is it?
Owl from the rest. An Akashic curl's been sighted on Rhiannon's ride and is headed in their direction.
Well, the better half of her guard is here. So wait, how many Akashic remain in Eastpool?
Hard to say. My men are still facing some resistance, but I think the worst is behind us. I could order a detachment or two to fall back and...
No. You stay here too. I'll go after the... Join me only when Eastpool is won.
May the Founder protect you.
Ambrosia won't help me here.
Next one's mine.